be disappointed with what a disgusting disgrace of a son I'd become. This continued all the way through high school. When it was time for me to choose the career path that I wanted to take, he forced me to study engineering. Just like him. I wanted to go into something like medicine or physical therapy. I wanted to feel that I was directly bettering someone's life, but he wanted to hear nothing of it. He was paying for my tuition. He held that over my head and used it as leverage, as miserable as it was. I got my degree, and I found a job. We both work at the same firm, but I feel to this day that he wanted me to be an engineer so that he could continue to abuse me at work. Make good pay. But I'm not exactly happy. Gunnar remains silent. My attendant. So to answer your question in a lengthy way, no. I don't want to say goodbye to my father. He's a monster. I wish him the cruelest fate imaginable. I'm no saint, not compared to... But compared to him, I'm close enough. I just wish that horrible man gets what he deserves in the end. Gunnar sat in silence for a few moments. After letting his mind process its thoughts, he finished off the last of his beer, walked over the trash can, and discarded it. Staring out the window, he watched as the last orange slivers of sun vanished over the horizon. What if we make sure he does?
Oh, man.
Cooper turned around and gave Gunnar a puzzled look. What are you suggesting? I want to make a deal with you, Coop. I like you. I really do. You can get your dad to come here. I'll let him take your place. Of course, you still can't go home, but you can live here with me. You know, it may not be the most ideal situation for you, but hopefully you'll find it better than being served up at a party tomorrow. I'll give you a few minutes to think it over. So go ahead. I'll do it. Gunnar turned around with a slight look of bewilderment at how quickly Cooper had
made sacrifice a 16-year-old?
Are you sure? Cooper gripped the
way.
edge of the table tightly at the thought of his father finally getting the treatment that he deserved. After all these
actually have the answer
vengeance
for that.
was within his grasp without
I
someone
thought this
working
is
on
smart.
it.
Why would you not sacrifice the older people?
I'll give you
Because
a
you would
call.
be the most useful.
Go ahead, give him a call, ask him to come pick you up.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Then it turned.
Look,
We're appeasing the gods.
He pulled the phone from the receiver and mounted on the wall.
Yeah.
Handing it to Cooper.
It's not about them, it's about the gods.
Him that he was fully confident in what he was about to
Literally,
initiate.
I just parts of the story, so I don't actually know what's going on.
Neither do I.
To be honest.
It's just a background noise.
Since I'm not doing anything, I'm hearing it, and I'm like, okay, where's the story is flawed.
Okay, so it begins.
I'm gonna go try to get some health back.
Do you not have anything that, like, any skills that regenerate your health?
No.
Oh.
By health, I just meant my my shield.
Yeah. I really wish I knew exactly where that meat spot was.
He took the phone, dialed his father's number, and the keypad. I hope you're happy with yourself. I had to reschedule my whole day, as well as tomorrow, to come out and get your ass back home. Cooper's father slammed the door to his car shut and marched toward the front porch. Cooper stood on the steps with his hands in his pockets, his head hanging low. Gunnar stood in the doorway, watching in quiet observance. You'll be reimbursing me for the gas I wasted, hauling this trailer all the way out here to take you home. Cooper nodded his head and didn't say a word. And I expect you to pay this man for towing your car here, feeding you, letting you spend the night.
Early.
I apologize for all this, mister. Answer. The gunner said while extending his hand. Cooper's father took it, shook it. Pleasure to meet you. My name's Keith. I apologize. It wasn't under better circumstances.
I'm the one who can take it.
That was really no trouble. Your son's a really fine man. Keith rolled his eyes and muttered something under his breath. Believe me that if you live with him, you'd think a lot differently. Keith turned and walked down
Apparently,
the
to get
steps.
that critical,
The humid
you have to,
summer
like,
was starting to
jump
take
under
its
his
toll,
neck.
causing him to loosen his tie. All right, Cooper, let's get your car loaded up and get it the hell out of here. I'm already starting to break a sweat. You'll have to buy me a new shirt after all this. He stepped into the grass
I'm on fire.
and started in the direction of Cooper's car behind the house. He stopped after a few paces to find Cooper still standing on the steps of the house. His gaze was directed out at the setting sun. What are you, deaf too? I said, let's go!
Alright, let
Cooper
go.
remained motionless and bathed in the orange glow of the Texas sunset. The wind blew, causing small pieces of dead grass to swirl around his feet.
Martin!
Run,
I don't have time
run.
for this shit, Keith muttered as he trudged back in his son's direction. Grabbing his son's arm, he attempted to pull him off the
No,
steps. When
don't
Cooper
take me.
refused to budge, his father
No,
grabbed his arm with
don't take
both
me.
hands and pulled harder.
I have. Oh shit.
Cooper took his free arm and wrapped it around his father's
You're-
neck. Pulling him
you're
close, he
gonna
removed his
die.
other arm from Keith's grasp and retrieved the knife from his pocket. Withdrawing the rusted and stained blade, Cooper gave his father one last look before bringing it against his neck. With one quick motion, he slit his
Don't say
father's
anything. Don't say
throat.
anything. Be quiet. Run.
The knife made a sickening tearing sound as it tore the flesh from Keith's neck. Cooper dropped the blade and placed his hand over the wound. As the blood seeped through his fingers, he closed his eyes and let out a heavy breath. The warm crimson fluid flowed down the back of his hand and soon meandered around his arm before seeping into the shirt sleeve. Opening his eyes once more, Cooper watched as the life slowly fled his father's
Oh.
eyes. Keith
way,
slowly
Cooper.
lifted an arm and
way.
brought his hand up to his son's face. His fingers lightly caressed his cheek before his body began to go limp. Cooper removed his hand from his father's throat as the body collapsed and he plummeted to the ground. Nice job, son. Quick, but painful. Never let out from behind him. Cooper turned, keeping his face expressionless. Let's go.
No.
Bring him to the barn, son.
My fireworks
Get drained
are
before we
gone.
serve him tomorrow.
Oh my god.
You need any help?
No.
Shoot,
Cooper
shoot.
responded.
Got him. Fuck
Blood
yes.
continued to gush from the jagged slit in his neck. It pooled under his hat, turning the dirt and grass underneath a dark brown. I could
Oh.
handle it myself.
That's one reboss down.
Without saying another word, Gunnar walked ahead to open the barn doors. Cooper grabbed his father's ankles and pulled the body through the grass, leaving a trail of blood in his wake. With each step, the sun sank lower in the sky.
Would have been nice if they were willing to give us back all the iridium we spent killing this fuck.
Nearing the barn, Cooper dropped Keith's ankles, causing his legs to slam to the ground and kick up a small cloud of dust. He retrieved the